Hey guys, this is Cody, and today I'm going to be doing a horror movie tag. And yeah, this is something I've actually seen a lot of YouTubers do, and I thought it looked like a pretty fun idea for a video. You know, it looked like a really great way to get to know a certain person, and you know what their tastes are, and you know what films that they prefer and what films that they don't. And yeah, so I thought it'd be a really fun idea to do it. I didn't get tagged by anybody. I'm mostly just doing this because I just want to do it, but for everybody who watches this video and all my subscribers, I'm tagging everybody. So if you guys want to do a response to this, just leave a link down below underneath this video, and I will definitely check it out. And you know, it'd be really great to see a lot of people do some responses for this. So I'm going to go and get into it. My laptop is actually sitting in front of me right now, and it's 13 questions. I have them all, like I said, on the screen right now, and I will also list all the questions down below. So for any of you who want to do this, I'll have them listed down below. So without further ado, I'm going to go and get started. And the first question is, what is your favorite scary movie? Now, if you guys have watched my channel, you guys probably know that my favorite horror movie of all time is Halloween. I still remember the day I first saw Halloween. I actually got the tape, the VHS of it, which I still have from FYE, and I remember my mom talking about it and how much it creeped her out, especially the scene when Michael was standing outside of Laurie's bedroom window, with the clothes hanging from the lines outside. My mom told me how much that really creeped her out. And Halloween, like I said, even today is still my favorite. It still creeps me out a little bit, even though I know what to expect. And there's really not a lot of movies that have ever really creeped me out. Maybe The Exorcist and maybe The Shining and The Changeling are probably the only other three movies I think have creeped me out as close to Halloween. But Halloween has definitely always been my favorite. I watch it every year, around October, and yeah, it's always been my favorite and always will be. Second question is, what is your favorite Scream Queen? Now, this is actually a really hard question. I would definitely say, I know it's cliche, but Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie Strode is probably my favorite Scream Queen, honestly. Because I think that if I was a Scream Queen, she'd be one of the Scream Queens that I think that I would consider being. First off, I really like the fact that, she's a very innocent girl, especially in the first movie. She hasn't dated anybody. She's just a very soft, quiet-spoken person. And then this killer comes along and, tries to kill her, and she ends up having to fight back, which I like. I like when, I like girls that end up, that have strength in them. And, when Laurie is fighting back Michael at the end of the first film, and especially in H2O, that really shows her strength, and that's why she's probably my favorite one. I love a lot of other films, Prom Night. I really like Terror Train as well. I think Terror Train is one of my favorite Jamie Lee Curtis films. But yeah, she's definitely my favorite Scream Queen. I'm trying to do these a bit fast in case you guys haven't noticed. But third question, what type of horror film do you like? And this one is kind of hard, but if I had to pick, my favorite type of horror would definitely be classic horror, maybe 70s and 80s. Mostly because those movies have originality, Every single classic movie that came out during that time is different from the last one, And that's when all horror movie ideas were all new. So everything that came out was something new and something different, And movies like that, they never relied on jump scares as much. I know some movies did do that, but now it's crazy. Their scripts were great. All the characters were full, like when you watched a character in a classic horror film, you knew that character, you knew what they were going through, and when something happens to them, you really felt it with them. So yeah, that's my favorite type of horror is classic horror. Number 4, what type of horror film do you not like? Honestly, I like all horror movies, but if I could pick one series or one type that I would never watch, it would be probably found footage. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some great found footage movies out there that I love. Like, I think I did a review for Zero Day, of course, Cannibal Holocaust, First Blair Witch. There's so many good found footage movies out there, but now that it's everywhere, it's just getting too over the top, and I think it's been overdone so many times. So if I had to pick one horror series that I don't like, or horror type, it'd probably be found footage. But I'm not saying I hate it. I'm open to some different found footage films. I just think that they should stop doing them for a while. Like if they did them for if they did one like every other year, I still think that'd be too much, but it would be better than what they're doing now. Alright, so number 5. If you were a scream queen in any movie, which one would you be? I kind of like this question. If I could be a scream queen, I would definitely have to be Nancy from A Nightmare on Elm Street. And the main reason why is because she's a fighter. Especially in the first film, she starts off as a victim. She starts off being really terrified of Freddy and her nightmares. She watches all of her friends and family just get killed off by him. And then at the end of the movie, she fights back, and she puts up, traps and stuff just to get them. And I think that I would be doing that. Of course, I would start off being scared, but I'm not going down without a fight. I will absolutely fight anything that, any person that's in front of me. I would set up traps. I will do anything I can to protect myself and protect the people I love. And that's why I like Nancy. I know that I could also have picked Jamie Lee Curtis, like I said, but honestly, I think I'd rather be Nancy. I think that she really suits me better. For number 6, what is your favorite horror villain and why? I hate this. I know that you guys are probably gonna guess Michael Myers. Why? Because he doesn't have to do anything, and he's terrifying. He can just stand there and stare at you, and you're already just freaked out by him. And I like how he's a stalker. And I felt that he's just a normal guy. When the series started off, he was just a normal guy that escaped from the mental, hospital. So he's basically just a normal guy, and he could be anybody, Anybody could go crazy one day and put on a mask and go on a killing spree. And that's what I like. I like killers that, could be anybody. It could be the guy living right next door to you, and that's what I like about Michael. You could probably say Jason is another guy like that, but after a while he sort of, became something else other than just a guy. You know what I mean? But Michael has always been my favorite, and he always will be. Number 7, what is the worst horror villain and why? I really don't dislike any horror villains. I think they're all pretty good. They're all good in their own way. Like, I know some people will say, like, oh, Leprechaun or something like that, and might say, oh, they're stupid. But at the same time, for what they do in the movies, I mean, they're good at what they do, Like, Leprechaun is good at, using spells and causing people to, explode or whatever, There's not really a horror villain that I haven't disliked, that I've disliked, I think that they all do their own thing, and I like mostly all of them that I've seen. Number 8, what is the worst horror film you have seen and why? Probably Hostel. The main reason why, I really have nothing against Hostel, it was so overhyped, and I actually saw the movie years later after it came out, and I was expecting a lot from it, and it didn't deliver for me. I'm not saying I hate the movie, it's just probably one of my least favorite horror films. I can't really think of any others, but I'd say Hostel, probably my least favorite horror movie as of right now. Alright, so number 9, which horror film do you think is overrated? Probably Paranormal Activity. I mean, if they had stuck with just the first movie and just did one of them, or maybe if they did 2 or 3, maybe, it wouldn't be overrated. But once it started going everywhere, then I stopped liking it. Because I remember being really creeped out by it the first time I watched it. And then the second time I watched it, I absolutely hated it. I don't like how it, I don't like the main guy in it. I think the guy's annoying. I hate the main guy in it. The girl, she really doesn't do much, So, like I said, same thing with found footage. If they had just kept it at maybe 1 or 2 movies, I would have enjoyed it. But since it's all blown up now, I just can't. So, Paranormal Activity is one movie I really just don't like. Which horror film do you think... Oh, wait. I already did that. Which horror film is underrated? That's a hard one because I watch a lot of good independent films. I would say any film by Dustin Mills. Um, there's one good movie called Dog. Well, no, that's not really underrated. That's kind of hard for me because there's so many great movies that are independent and they're already underrated, but that's because they're not considered like mainstream films. In the independent world, however, they might be amazing. They might be huge in the mainstream world. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard for me to say, oh, well, that's underrated because I didn't see it in theaters or anything like that. That's not true at all. So I can't really answer that. I think that for a lot of horror movies in their own way, whether they're big budget or low budget, there's always a core group of people that enjoy them. And so I really can't decide on what is an underrated movie. Do you like horror spoofs? Yeah, I do. I really enjoyed the first two Scary movies. I thought they were both pretty funny. I think I prefer Scary Movie 2, maybe a little bit over Scary Movie 1, simply because every scene wasn't inappropriate. I mean, not inappropriate. Every scene wasn't over the top and just wasn't trying to shock you, you know what I mean? So I'd say I do enjoy spoofs, but as long as you don't overdo it, and as long as the jokes are actually funny and not dumb, like, let's say, the fourth Scary Movie, or, like, what was that one movie? Not Epic Movie, but, I forget. There's another movie they made after Epic Movie that was, like, really horrible. I can't think of it. Like, all those spoof movies that come out, I enjoy them for the most part, as long as they're funny. What is your favorite horror movie series? Halloween. I mean, you know, what else? I know that I've said that so many times, but I've enjoyed every single movie in the series, except for Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. And, you know, I think that all of them are all great sequels. I think they all have great sequels. Even Halloween 3, which I know a lot of people hate, I think that's a pretty original horror movie, and it's a good movie on its own. I think that Michael, he was creepy throughout most of the series. You know, and I really do like them. I would say Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th are my second and third favorite. And last one, name 13 horror villains or movies. I'll go with villains. Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, Leatherface, Pinhead, Candyman, Chucky, Leprechaun, Ghostface, Mick Taylor from Wolf Creek, the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers. Who have I not mentioned? The puppets from Puppet Master. I'll consider them all one because they're all part of one series. And I think I don't know if I said Leatherface. I might have. If I said Leatherface twice, I'm sorry. But anyway, guys, yeah, that's it. That was a horror movie tag. Like I said, I really enjoyed doing this, and I would love to see some responses to this. I'll leave like I said, all the questions down below underneath this video. And, yeah, I think it's a really fun idea. It's a really great way to get to know a certain person on YouTube and get to know their certain tastes in horror and what they like and what they don't like. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Kindly leave responses down below. I'll leave the list, you know, of the questions in the down below, and yeah, thanks to everyone for watching, and I'll see you guys later.